Good morning, Margaret. I figured I'd just go live anyway. How are you this morning? Happy Friday. It's supposed to be stormy here, like thunderstorms and everything, which makes a lot of sense because it has been hazy, hot, and humid for the whole week. So I'm still going out to camp, even though it's supposed to thunderstorm and rain a lot, because I think it's going to be fun to sit in the camper while it rains and crochet. And it'll stop me from doing this while I'm here. Yes, I'm still working on this blanket. This is the only chance I really get a chance to do it, to tell you the truth. How's Icy this morning, Margaret? I hope he's doing good. I got to wake myself up. Good. Did he ever end up with any stitches, or you just took care of him because you're amazing? Which I love that picture that you put up on Facebook. That scarf is beautiful. And that was a sidetrack, I know, but that just goes under the You're Amazing tab. Pretty much I can't find anything that I talk about that you don't know a little bit about, and more. Probably more than me. Oh my goodness. So yeah. So last night was the first night. Good morning, Debbie. Last night was the first night that my pets actually seemed like they knew someone was missing. My one cat, Willie, at 3 a.m. was just walking around the house yowling, which made Fritz sit up on the end of the bed. And he doesn't really bark, but he goes, so good. You're very good, Margaret. So yeah, last night was the first indication that they understood somebody in the pack isn't here, you know? So yeah, it was odd. But they're starting to tolerate each other a little bit better. So it's almost like they're playing a little bit more, or maybe they realize, hey, we're in this together, so we might as well get along. So I have to admit, I was a little mad at the vet. And I get it. They've got a million patients. They had a million things going on. But when I left the other day, I was a bit upset. So I forgot the pet carrier there. And one of the techs called me yesterday. And he's like, when you brought Stuart in the other day, you left your pet carrier. Do you want me to just hold it until you come back with Stuart? I get it. He had a slip of paper in front of him that said, call this patient and see if they're coming to get it. And he misspoke, but that still took a little, ugh. I'm certainly not holding it against him. And I was a little snarky. I was like, well, I'm not coming back with Stuart. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I shouldn't have done that. That was bratty. I get it. That was snarky and I shouldn't have done it. But that was just one of those things. And I felt bad. I felt bad for the kid. He didn't mean it. You know what I mean? It can't be easy for them dealing with people who are hysterical like I wasn't hysterical, but upset like I was, you know? So yeah, that felt a little like, you shouldn't have said that. But like I said, he's a young kid. He's got a million things to do. They handed him this piece of paper and said, call her. So he did. So this is my absolute favorite coffee mug. I don't use it a lot because the coffee gets really cold really quick. But this mug actually came with the camp. When we had the camp, there was a set of 6 of them. And that's the only one left. Who knows where? They're probably in the river, or who knows? Who knows where they've been? But so I used this one today, and then I have my refill over there. So let me see. Oh my gosh. I got up at 3:30. It is. And he felt terrible. Exactly, Margaret. And when I said that, I reprimanded myself, like, don't be a jerk. You know, don't, he didn't mean it. You know what I mean? And he probably kicked himself when he got off the phone or was like, oh my God, can you believe I said that? So yeah, I felt terrible for being that person. That's why I'm doing my confession to you guys. Well, good morning, Marianne. I've been up since 3:30, so I get a mulligan for the yawns. Oh, that's too funny. Quit calling me out on my yawn. So what did I do at 3:30 this morning? See all those cakes? Yep. So I got a new winder. I got a new winder. I have it attached to the desk, so I'll have to take the, but here it is. And I love it. It's actually metal, not plastic. Well, most of it is metal. The gears are metal. And I wound a few balls, and I really like it. I like the quality of it. I like the smoothness of it. Let me see if I can show you. You got to ignore the mess. You can't look at the mess. Here it is right here. So here it is right here. And of course, I made more of a mess so I could reorganize things and make less of a mess, but you got to start with the worst part. So I actually, after book club, I know. Exactly, Margaret. Get out of my head. Get out of my head, Margaret. I keep looking over there because I already caked up some. Let me see here. All up here. I caked those up. So what I did was behind me, here, let me put my blanket down. Let me put my Pebble Beach blanket down for a minute and slide back here if I don't run into anything. Now you can see over here is all the yarn. Now I redid my books. Yeah, you can see. Okay. So since we've been doing book club, I've been realizing, I know, Margaret, I know. That's why I love it. I just love it. So here, my books. And I'm not done organizing them because, again, but the second row is all crochet. Yes, I did, Debbie. I got it off Amazon. $58, I want to say. I can find you the link to the one I did if you'd like to see it. So, open in a new tab. I'm getting good at this, guys. So let me see orders. My orders. Here it is. It is a large capacity yarn ball winder, hand operated swift yarn ball winder from Knit Picks. Oh, it's $33 here. I looked at others that were more expensive. I think I just decided to go with this one. Yes, it does bigger ones. And that's why I got it, because the plastic one that I have here, this was my test. This was the one that I bought to see if I would use it. And then, good morning, Melissa. Right? Exactly. Exactly. So this was the one I bought to see if, so what I do is I will buy an off name or a really super cheap version of something, see if I like it, and then spend the money on the more expensive one if I do like it, if it's warranted. So this little one, it was good, but if I didn't, so this clips on the table here, right? And you feed the yarn through here and you turn. However, if you don't put the ball of yarn here or whatever you're winding, I had to hold it up tight here. So I was literally standing like this while turning this. And if I wasn't careful, if I let it slack at all, the smaller one, yeah, If I let it slack at all, Debbie, tell me if this happens to you at all. If I let this slack at all, it would loop under here and get caught in these gears. So I was finding that I couldn't just because all of a sudden, yeah. So all of a sudden I'd be feeling a tug and then I'd look and the yarn is all up in here. So that's what made me decide, okay, you're definitely using the winder, but you definitely need a bigger one. So this one, well, let's give you the measurements. The small one, the cone is 3 inches. The bigger one, the cone is 5 inches. Yes. Yeah, Debbie. I've used it to do about 6 or 7 cakes this morning at 3 a.m. His room is right there, just saying. I listen to make sure I hear him snoring, so that, yeah. This one, though, comes with 2 tensions, Margaret. So you can see it's got the one up here, okay? Yeah, I love it. There was an option of an electric one. I almost did it. I almost went with the electric one, and then I'm like, no, I can, at least that's exercise, right? So you can see this one has the one, and then it also has one. So this is taking over where my hand would be. So I can actually just set the yarn next to me or next to it, and it double checks itself. So this is actually a 2 tension system, and I like it. So I would give out of 10. Wait, Miriam, what did I miss? That's so funny. So out of 10, 10 being the best, I would say the small one is a 6, and the big one is an 8.5. Just my opinion. So far, that's how I am with it so far. You know me, I love my gadgets. Good morning, Barb. How are you? Good morning. We're comparing yarn winders. Of course, now I'm quoting in my head, you silly sidewinder from The Little Mermaid. Scuttle talking to Sebastian, you silly sidewinder. But the yarn winder, I like the bigger one. And for $39, now I have a spare. So now I have a spare. I can either put it in my to-go bag and have one with me in case I want to show the kids at Crochet Club how to do it. I can also put one in the camper if I want to sit and wind yarn for the weekend. It is what it is. Or I can, give one to somebody that needs it that I don't. So there's that. Good morning, Christina. Good morning, everybody. I love that you're all here. I'm going to take a sip of this coffee and I'm going to hate it because it's cold. Worse than that, it's lukewarm. But anyway, so that's what I was doing early this morning. So I took everything that was up on this top shelf and I relocated it, which of course I'm telling myself, oh, you got to go through it again, and I will. I relocated it down here. So this whole side is going to be my books. Now the top shelf is everything but crochet. Excuse me. So the top shelf is everything crafting, from amigurumi to weaving and anything in between except crochet. The second shelf is all crochet. So there's that. Now I have the leaflets in there. If you can see, where's my hand? Right. This whole section right here is those leisure crafts, leisure art, those leaflets, and they're numbered. So I'm going to put them in order. We know I'm going to do that. No resin. No resin. There is not a resin book in there. Just saying that made me itch, Margaret. No resin. No. I'm even afraid. I don't even want to touch something that's made of resin anymore. I'm terrified of it. But so that was my morning. And now I'm going to camp today, and I have to be there by noon because I have an appointment with a financial advisor. It's about time I grow up and do a financial. Melissa, all of us kind of got together and figured out yes, because Margaret found, didn't I do a link to it? Hold on. Yeah, if you scroll, hold on. Here we go, Barb. I'll put the link up again. So yeah, Margaret found a video of a woman who had an allergic reaction, Melissa. And I watched that video, and it was exactly what happened to me. Exactly what happened. Like, her eyes swelled shut. She started with a little bit of itch right here on her wrist, and then it just, and I was like, oh, Margaret, oh my goodness, you did it. So who needs urgent care? I have you guys. But yeah, so anyway, there's my books. I've got to go through them again because that's what I do. I organize and then I reorganize and I reorganize. So that is still a little bit messy. You can see down there I have a random, that's actually a can organizer for the fridge. No, Melissa, no more resin. And I'm trying to find a crafty way to use it, but I can't. Oh, sorry about that. All right, Marianne, have a great day. So yeah, I'm going to reorganize that. I've got a few of those, these little containers here, up here. I've got them over there. I've got to get them in there. Thanks for stopping by, Marianne. And then I will go over here and I will finish putting those cakes in. Can you see them? I'm in the way. There you go. So, but I do have to be to the camp today by noon, well, between noon and 1, because I have finally decided I need to be a grown up and figure out a financial advisor. And my brother has one and he swears by him. So I'm just going to say, here's all my stuff. Make it so I can live. And that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to say, my brother says you're wonderful. So be wonderful for me. And that'll be that. I can't. Insurance and financial stuff, I just can't do all that. There's just too much. It's too much. You guys handle all that and I'll handle crochet. That's how my life should be, right? That's how it should be. And then tomorrow, I'm very excited. I'm getting my hair done. That's why I don't have it covered this morning. So that I'm almost done. This is the second skein. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, so I have 4 left. So this is going to be a pretty nice size blanket. So if every 2 skeins is this big, it's going to be really pretty. I need your advice. So when I'm done, I'm thinking I don't want to do the bobbles or the pebbles. I'm thinking I want to do, like, take a few of the fringe, tie them together. Yeah, me too, Margaret. I love it too. I'm stopping myself from ordering more because I don't need more. I want more. It's just so beautiful. Yeah. So anyway, I want to take the fringe. So I want to take like 2 things of fringe or 3 things, tie them together and have like one. I can picture it in my head, but I can't picture how I want to do it. It is so, but it's got to be perfect, you know, because I want to win best in show at the fair. I don't just want a ribbon, people. I want to win another best in show. Because, you know, set your goals high, right? I was looking at my blanket that I won Best in Show with, and I was like, you know, it was so simple. It was just a granny square blanket, a baby throw, and it did have the fringe on the outside. I did do a full-size blanket last year, and he said that I needed a border on it. So I'm going to make sure I have some sort of border. Some sort of border. Right, Christina? Why do it if you're not shooting for the gold? I want the gold. Oh, see that? All right, you guys, that drives me crazy when the yarn is tied together in the skein and then I have to deal with the ends. That doesn't make me happy, but it is what it is. So I'm making sure I have all of my projects with me. I'm bringing those books that we decided yesterday, because if I get bored working the same stitch over and over, I can start some of my other projects. So that is going to happen. But I have to leave here at 11. So I already watered all the plants. Oh, by the way, did you guys see the short I put up of my garden? Can we talk about that treasure hunt? So as you know, right, Margaret? How cool was that? So I was coming home from my daughter's house, and I was like, I'm just going to swing by Lowe's and see what they have. Melissa, let's talk about it, and then you can go watch. So I said, I want to see what they have in the clearance. Asiatic daisies, is that what? I think that's what they're called. So anyway, I go to the back of the clearance section in Lowe's. Now it is 90 degrees. I'm talking. All right, Christina, you're going to love the story and then see the video. I'm talking it's hot. It's hot and miserable. And I'm like, okay. So I go to the back, because this is the time of year when the kids that they hire for Lowe's, they don't know how to take care of these plants. They don't want to take care of these plants because it's 90 degrees and it's hot. So I'm going to burn my mouth. I know. So, oh, sorry. All right. So I get into Lowe's and I see, you know how they have the carts? They're like this big. They're probably like 2 of these sections, maybe 3. So I'm looking, and they have those lilies. And I'm like, stupid Alexa. So they were only they were $10, $10.98 originally. And they had them on the cart that with the slash through, so it meant they were 50% off. So, oh, good. So I said to one of the kids was walking by, and I'm also learning that their vests are color coded. So the red vests are the managers. The green vests are the ones that just, they're the worker bees. Okay. So a green vest was walking by me, and I said, excuse me. And this kid, he looks, and I was like, these lilies, I said, there's not one flower left on them anywhere. I said, you've only got them marked down for half price. I said, if you will give me each one for $2 a piece, I'll take the whole cart. He goes, I'll be right back. And he went and he got the red vest, and the red vest came back, and she goes, $2, $2, $2. So I took the whole cart. So now next year, I'm going to plant these this year, let them winter over, let them get their roots, let them get established. And then next year, I'm going to forget where I put them, and I'm going to have beautiful lilies popping up all over the place. And I can't wait, because there's pink and orange and yellow, and I can't wait. So that happened. Well, then, sorry. So then I'm poking around, and I found butterfly bushes. Now I'm used to the purple ones. They're pretty, whatever, this and that. But then I saw these raspberry ones. They were the color. Nice. Sparkling wine. Very good. The raspberry ones were the color of this. A butterfly bush, the color of this. And I was like, yes, please, for $4. Absolutely. Put it in the Jeep. Put it in the Jeep. So these people, they're helping me. Plus, I got garden flocks. And I did get a couple annuals because I had a couple of containers out on the deck that I wanted to do. So she said, the woman said to me, now I have 3 carts full of plants. I have no room in the Jeep. No obvious room in the Jeep. So the worker bees are said to me, it was the original kid I talked to and one other, right? So she's like, let me put these in the car for you. I said, oh my gosh, that would be awesome. I said, it's right there. There's da da da. I said, move around anything you have to because I want these plants. By the time I got out there, they had the seats down, everything neatly pushed to the front of the Jeep, and all of the plants lining the back of my Jeep. You guys got to understand, when I look in my mirror and I see a Jeep full of plants, there's my happy place. I love the beach. I love the ocean. I love the mountains. I love camping, but I love a Jeep full of flowers more than anything ever. So now, I mean, I get it. What's Tetra? Is that the commercial you had? I don't know what that means. But so now I have them all home. And now I have to plant them all, which is, I mean, it's 95 degrees today. So I watered them all real good and I set them out where they're kind of in the shade. And I will plant them. Oh, Tetra, yeah. Yeah, Melissa, flowers are definitely my happy place. And over the past several years, I have made it a thing where I never pay full price and I never buy retail shrubs, perennials, annuals. I spend a third of what I should or what others do because of where I do it, because I know that they're savable. So a couple of years ago, when we were at the other house, well, several years ago now, I would love, yeah. Yeah, Melissa, I would love to see it. You should line it with sunflowers. So a couple years ago, my daughter, I think it was either Mother's Day or my birthday, I'm not sure which, she bought me dead plants. And nobody got it but she and I. You know what I mean? She was like, here, Mom. And she handed me a white bleeding heart. And it was nothing but like one leaf and it was kind of whitish green and this and that. And the next year I had the most beautiful white bleeding heart, which by the way, I can't find. So if any of you can find one, let me know and I'll order it. I'll order it online if I have to. I would love a white bleeding heart. But yeah, that year for my birthday, she actually gave me all, and she's like, this year I'm giving you a challenge. She said, make them all come back. And I did. So that's kind of my thing. I like to take plants that other people have given up on and make them beautiful again. So I decided last night. Nice. Margaret, see, that's it. That's it, Margaret. I get it. And they get it. But they don't understand. Good morning, Alana. So Alana, make yourself a miniature raised garden or use window boxes or whatever you can. That's how, I mean, I had an apartment many, many, many years ago where I didn't have a garden. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is, Melissa. People that know you can do it, they give you clippings and they give you plants that need help, and they give you, I'm the plant shelter. Not the animal shelter, I'm the plant shelter. So you can drop them off at my house and I will foster them. You're never getting them back, but I will foster them and bring them back. If you're lucky, I'll give you a clipping from it and you can take that to your garden. But I actually had one of the neighbors last night. Yeah, he doesn't pay attention. And he was like, I never noticed your gardens before. He goes, now I can't stop looking at them. And I was like, well, thank you. Thank you very much. Because like I said, I don't spend a lot. I really refuse to spend a lot. So, right. That's what I was thinking, Margaret. Any outdoor space at all, even your front stoop, make yourself like just a little planter with a bunch of different stuff in it. Any of that would be an option. Or Alana, what about indoor plants? Do you have any indoor plants, or do you like indoor plants? A lot of people can do outdoor plants and not indoor. It took me a while to do indoor plants, and now I have several. Actually, now I have too many, because I did the same thing with them at Lowe's as I did with the outdoor plants. I went to their plant section and found all the ones that were dying, all the ones that they neglected, and I brought them all back. So Alana, if you just like the fact of growing stuff, maybe you could make yourself a little houseplant garden. That where there's a space, there's there's a plant. That's how my house goes. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a space, there's a plant. I just, they're kind of like pets to me, only minimal cleanup, and I don't have to feed them every morning. So I would. Exactly, Margaret. Exactly. The apartment that I had many, many, many years ago had a balcony. And I did the same thing. And that's when I discovered the railing planters. They clip right on the railing. Those are pretty good space savers. You can't see over them, but whatever, who cares? I'd rather look at plants than people most of the time anyway, unless I'm in need of, some people watching. So, nice. See, Alana, that's cool. At least you're getting your garden out. But if you can find any space at all, even, here's an idea. What about a garden on a wall? Hello, how are you, Amber? Good morning. Welcome. Alana, do you have like a shed or even a wall next to your door? You could do a horizontal or a vertical garden. Those are pretty cool. Go on Pinterest. You could see. Yeah, I can't offer to help my daughter because her husband is a landscaper. So I let him do their gardens. Yes. And I do a lot of hanging plants too. Yep. Out where spots where you have limited area, you can do hanging plants. And that leads to the fact you can macrame, da, da, da. Christina, that's awesome. That's awesome. You know what? They're nice. It's a nice break from, stress. Like my last job for 20 years was in sales. So could I stress all day long in the rat race and the meetings and the da 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 da, and then I come home, take a breath, and walk through the garden. It's your place. So wherever you can make your place, make your place. So speaking this year, I don't know if I told you guys, This year I'm falling in love with dahlias. I had them last year. Oh, okay. By the way, good job with the violets, because I was terrible with African violets. My mom was great with them, but so what was I saying? Dang it. Oh, so dahlias. So I went yesterday and they had some dahlias on the clearance, but they were like this big. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I've got huge dahlia plants out front. Can you guys see this? So I went on to my artificial intelligence site and I said to it, I typed in, create me an image of one dahlia in a vase on the countertop. And it did. So I printed it out and I printed it out. I actually deadheaded a dahlia. I glued it onto the dahlia, put a couple petals down here, and then framed it. Isn't that pretty cool, right? So that's how that turned out. I'm waiting to see, because it's pretty dry, but I just want to make sure it doesn't have any moisture at all. So to make sure it doesn't, mold at all before I make another one. So I'm thinking this is going to be, thank you. This is going to be something that this might be the one I put in the fair. Something to this effect, where it's just one flower, super simple. I laid the petals on, Yeah, you can get those special UV lights, right? You can get those UV lights and have plants in the basement. I had a coworker who was in a part of our office building that had no windows. They were like down. And she actually had one of those lights. It looks like a regular light, and you put one of those little gardens underneath it. She had an herb garden in there. But anyway, so you guys let me know. What do you think? This is what I'd like to do Tuesday also on our, where is it? There it is. On our craft along Tuesday night. Yes, exactly, Alana. And I always mess them up. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Right? Yeah, you can get those little lights and put them on. Yeah. Yeah, I remember those. But so there's many ways you can bring a garden in. You just got to, it is an expense, and it's an initial setup expense and this and that, but I don't know. I try not to start myself a new hobby where it's going to break the bank or where it's going to tap into my yarn budget. Because as you can see, I don't have enough yarn. Yeah, the African violets were always my mom's favorite. She had purple and pink, always. And when my mom passed, I tried to honor her by having the violets. And they only lasted for, I don't know, a couple months. Oh, that's awesome, Margaret. Good for you. Now, at our old house, we had a pretty large basement. Never enough yarn. Exactly. We had a pretty large basement, and we actually created a garden room where we took all of our seeds for our vegetable garden and we started them in that room. So, ooh, spider mites. Yee. Yeah, Amber, can you see, where am I? Behind me, my new yarn winder. New yarn winder. Say that 3 times fast. I can barely say it once. Ooh, how was it, Melissa? I haven't been to a Hobby Lobby really since I stopped working, because it used to be right near my office, and now I don't. Was it a good one? Do I need to go? I have to, speaking of going to brick and mortar stores, I went to the Joann, the local Joann's here. I'll tell you what, I was not in that store 5 minutes. It was terrible. They had literally nothing. It was, they had one row of yarn, full price, no, nothing. It was terrible. Yeah, I'm going to do it this year, Margaret. I'm going to get back to harvesting all of my seeds. So what I do is I take my prescription bottles and I peel off the labels, obviously, and then I put stickers on them and save the seeds in there. That way they're nice and secure. So, oh, bummer. Yeah, I may have to drive by Hobby Lobby. I only have, well, I think I have two, but I have one that's near enough for me to go to. The other one is downtown Albany, which is the capital of New York, and I do not like going there. Yeah, so that's, and I also, I use these, you know, the Keurig cups? They have those little metal trees that you can put the Keurig cups in. I store these in that. So if I'm looking for a seed, I spin it and I can, it's just ways of reusing stuff I already, 3 stores. Melissa, you have 3 Hobby Lobbies near you? Well, I guess I can find 3, but I don't want to drive all that way. By the time I drive all that way, I'm spending more in gas than I would be saving on yarn, but that's not the point, is it? The point is saving on yarn. That's the point. Oh, Amber, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm telling you, my Joann had 0. 0. That's terrible. Alana, spider mites are, yeah. That's why when I was working in the office, they didn't want us to bring in any of our own plants. We had a plant person and we didn't bring in any of our own plants because those could be. Good morning, River Life. Fritzy's sleeping. Quite exhausted, as a matter of fact. Yeah, Alana, that's terrible. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's I mean, but the mites, that's why they would treat the plants and we weren't allowed to really bring in our own, but I did anyway. My plants didn't have it. So wow. All right, so what do I have? See, I'm kind of like that, Amber, with thrift stores, Goodwill, and Salvation Army. Like you are like you are with the Hobby Lobbies and Joann's. Yeah, that's something, Alana. That stinks for sure. You baked the soil. That's a great idea. Yeah, so let's see. I have 4 Salvation Armies, 2 Goodwills, and 3 random stores that I have around here. Good morning, Amy. Welcome. We're talking about plant thrifting and yarn thrifting and how many stores we have around us. So if I, like the first Tuesday of every month, which is coming up, I actually hop in the car and I go to every single, yeah, we only have 2. Amber, the Goodwill closed down after COVID. I know of 3 of them that closed in my area. So I rely, sorry, my forehead itches. I rely on the Salvation Armies a lot. But Goodwill used to, yeah, we used to go to a lot of different ones, but there's only a couple left now. Ooh, Melissa, cactus. You guys want, Melissa, you want to hear a funny cactus story? So when I was growing up, my mom and I, all the other kids grew up and moved out. So mom and I moved off of the farmhouse and into an apartment. And it was our first night in the apartment, and we were right across the street from a volunteer fire department. Okay. So right across the street, middle of the night, the whistle goes off, right? That's how they call all the volunteers. So mom and I didn't know what the heck was going on. We're like, oh my goodness. So we're bleary eyed. We go into the living room to look out the window, and I squat down and I sat on my mom's cactus. And I'll tell you what, until the day my mom passed, we could look at each other and I would go, I can't believe I just sat on a cactus, and we would both crack up. That was a thing. That was our funny thing. Because I'm like, ow, I can't believe I just sat on a cactus. And all mom did was fall back on the floor and laugh, 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 laugh. So that was one of our things. I can't believe I just sat on a cactus. And it was one of those super pokey, like the needles of it were like this long. But oh my goodness, how funny is that? That's a good time. I'm glad you said that. That brought a yeah, that wasn't owie for sure. But it was a great memory because now mom and I had that for the rest of our lives, you know? I can't believe I just sat on a cactus. And we'd say it to each other randomly out of nowhere, and people would look at us like, what is wrong with you two? Oh, that's fun. Mom always had plants. Always, always, always. Oh yeah, Alana, that was definitely. And I was what? How old are you in 7th grade? 14, 13, 14? So I had that my whole life, a joke with mom and I. It's funny. Good times. I can still picture that apartment. We had one of those ugly 80s couches that was like brown with orange and yellow daisies on it. And I was tucked down right beside that couch. And I sat on a cactus. You'd think I would have just sat on the couch, but no. No. Oh, that's good stuff, you guys. Makes me smile when I bring back those memories. That's good stuff. Good times. So remember, before I forget, I know we've still got time, but I just want to remind you guys that Monday is going to be a little off schedule for Coffee with Kim. Yes, Alana. I'm going to aim for 9:30. I might be later, but you guys just bear with me. We'll do our best, but it is a members only. And I am working on, let me ask you guys while we're here, and I'm not asking you to do it. I just want to ask if you see it. While you're watching this live, is there a button that says join? And if there is a button that says join, is there a button that you can gift memberships? I'm trying to work on the back end of my analytics to see if that's a thing, because what I want to do is actually give away a membership as a, as a prize or whatever. So if you guys can see that and help me out. I was on with Amazon Help just before we went live. And I told her, you got to hurry up because I'm going live in 2 minutes. But if you can let me know if you see that. So there should be a join button, which I think you've said before there is. But is there a button that says you can gift a membership? I just want to know, because I'm trying desperately to figure out all of this YouTube stuff, and it's not easy. Oh, nice. Margaret, I would love to see that. Yeah, Melissa, that couch will probably be in again. There is membership gifting. So that's 2 hours of my life I can't get back. There is a way. Okay. Yeah, Alana, I'm just trying because I wanted to, as a prize or whatever, as I wanted to be able to gift a membership. And I tried to do it from my phone at 3 a.m. and that's, that is not advisable for anybody. All right, cool. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Amber. I wish I had a little microwave in here. My coffee's cold. See, that's why I love this cup, but I don't use it that much. So, And all right, so back to Monday. It's going to be members only. And I'm probably going to be late. So I need you guys to just, that would be awesome. All right, perfect. Thank you so much, guys. It's just, I can't see what you see. And then every time I think to do it, like on Mr. Fortunate's iPad or whatever, he's in the middle of something and I can't just take over it. So if you guys, I appreciate the help. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm trying to, on my phone, there's a $sign, membership gifting. All right. So here we go. Margaret, you are a member. Can you look and see, like I'm saying, I'm not asking you to do it, but can you look and see if it gives you an option since you're already a member to gift it? I'm just trying to hit all my options here so I know what the heck I'm doing. Because you guys, I need an IT person. I need someone to do all this. So I can just sit here and do this. All right. Thank you so much. I can't. There's too many buttons and bells and whistles, and I just want to sit here and talk and crochet and go play in the garden. All right, cool. All right, Margaret, thank you so much. I just need to make sure. So, because when I Googled it, you are able to do them as a see. Okay. All right. All right. So I just need to be able to know how to go in and gift it and whatever. I just got to take a moment. I got to breathe and take a moment to figure this stuff out. That works for me. All right. What are we looking at for time? Oh, we still got time. We are fine. Wow. It's looking like it's going to rain. Alexa, what's today's weather?
The current weather is 75 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. Today, you can expect some sun and thunderstorms, with a high of 85 degrees and a low of 70 degrees.
There we go. That explains why it's cloudy. How many of your Alexas did I just pick up? Sorry. You know I do that. I'm so sorry. So I went into Michael at MJD Crochet the other day. That was fun. He's such a nice guy, such a sweet guy. He always makes sure he stops what he's doing and says hello to me when I get on there. He probably does it with everybody, but it feels nice because when you take your time to go into a live and take time out of your life to join somebody's live, I find it very important to stop what you're doing and acknowledge them as a creator. Yeah, Barb, here too, and we're at camp. So that's why whenever you guys pop into my live, I make sure I stop and say hello. Oh, good. Because it means a lot. You know, if I get into a live and I'm hanging out and I'm trying to chat and this and that, and it almost feels like they don't know you're there if they don't acknowledge you. You know what I mean? So I try to make sure, you know, not like I'm going to have 700 or 1,000 like some others have, but yeah. Yeah, that is true, Margaret. You didn't have to water. Yeah. I watered this morning all my new plants. I'm not going to make myself plant today. I'm going to wait until the heat wave breaks and then put them in the ground. For now, I'll just keep them all hydrated. Make sure everybody, oh, you guys want to crack up. So I'm unloading all the plants from my Jeep. Thank you, Melissa. I'm unloading all the plants from my Jeep. And what does Mr. Fortunate say? Make sure you water them if they've been in your Jeep all day. Now he'll say something like that, and then he'll look at me like, oh. So I'm pulling the plants out. He said that, and I just stopped. No expression. I just looked at him. And he goes, it was so funny. He was like, I know, you know. And I'm like, I know. But it was just so funny. He cracks me up. Make sure you water them. And of course, I had to make a joke. I'm like, really? Do I have to water them? It's fun to be able to laugh at stuff like that because sometimes you just say stuff out loud without realizing you're even saying it. And then you're like, oh boy. But we're good like that. We don't take offense. We just pick on each other. I'm like, oh, really? Really? You think? Exactly, Margaret. I was like, wait, really? I have to water them? And he just puts his hand up. His friend was sitting next to him, just started laughing. I was cracking up. That's good time. Of course, every time I clean out the Jeep and vacuum it and this and that, then I put more plants in it and then there's more dirt. And quite a vicious circle. But this is the time when I told you I go through all of those garden centers almost daily because I want to make sure I'm not missing any good deals. How much? I have this much left on this row. I don't know if I'm going to make it. What's it called? Crochet chicken? I don't know if I'm going to finish this row or not. We shall see. You guys will be here to witness whether I make it on this row. And then we'll see. Yarn chicken. That's what I'm playing. We shall see. We shall see. I'm trying to think of all the different yarn chicken. I'm trying to think of all the different stitches that I've kind of made up in my head. I'm going to make myself a checklist and make sure I have a video for each one of them, like this one, the extended treble. No, see, I do it all the time. It's the split treble. Alana, it was great having you here. Come back every morning. Come back any morning. Love having you here. Welcome. And we will see you soon. Have a great weekend. We'll be here tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Great to see you, Alana. Have a nice day. We're almost done here anyway, dear. I got to get my Jeep packed and make sure I don't forget anything. Oh, wow. We have had very, very little rain. Like the river is so low right now. It's usually about knee deep to the point where I can walk out right now. It's just dry and it's usually knee deep there. So that's how, well, plus they open the locks and they keep the river for the lakes that are around. So there's the Great Sacandaga Lake around here and also Lake George. But the Great Sacandaga Lake is actually directly affected by the Hudson River. So you can tell when they open or close those locks because you can tell this river here is directly. We're supposed to just get thunderstorms. They don't really help much. I mean, because they're a downpour for 10 minutes and then it runs right off and then the sun comes out and then we're cooked. You know what I mean? So they're not very helpful. So, all right, you guys, we are looking at about an hour. Let me see if I can finish this. I want you guys to not be left on a cliffhanger as to whether I can finish this or not. Not that I'm sure you probably don't care, but let's see if I can get this row finished. I think I'm going to make it. Oh, yeah. I think I'm going to make it. The yarn barf in the way. So are you supposed to get regular rain or? Oh, I bet you they're beautiful. I love waterfalls. We have an underground waterfall here called Secret Caverns. It's 100 feet underground. Here we go, guys. The last 10 stitches. What do you think? Am I going to make it? How mad will I be if I don't? How mad am I going to be if I don't make this? My split treble, which I have turned into one of my favorite stitches, by the way. The half double and the split treble. That's what this whole blanket is. Oh my goodness, 3 left. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it anywhere. Here we go, guys. I did it. All right, you guys. The mystery is solved. I made it. So I will see you guys in the morning. Thank you so much. If you haven't, please do the thumbs up. See you guys in the morning. Remember, always be happy. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Have a great day. Yay, yarn check-in winner.